Welcome to episode 180. Donald Bren Richest real estate self-made billionaire in the United States, 10 lessons. This is an outline of episode 180. This is a continuation of outline of episode 180. Lesson number 1, location, location, and location.
You have to go to the land, and it's about location, location, and location. A location that is on the Southern California coast with the beach at one side and the mountains 22 miles inland, located equidistant between Los Angeles and San Diego, and the market forces that come to bear from both of those metropolitan areas.
Lesson number 2, learn from the ground up. He's not just building a shopping mall, office, or houses. He's building a whole community of 145 square miles.
It's a pure coincidence. Participate and to lead the master planning and the master building of 2 historic California ranchos located equidistant between the Los Angeles metropolitan area and San Diego. It has been a long, dusty trail, but a trail that has provided me the opportunity to learn many different development business disciplines from the ground up.
Lesson number 3, how to manage cash flow.
There was no mortgage financing on the land. The land was free. It was clear. In the early days, and by the way, I'll just say that the company has been a private company for all these years. There was one point that we took a segment or a group of the company, the apartment group, public for 5 years. Community development, large-scale community development, has to be done in a private environment, meaning that there are no quarterly dividends required. The cash is reinvested. The cash is reinvested into the planning, into the infrastructure, into the asset portfolio of office, retail, industrial, and apartment properties.
Lesson number 4, how to manage 28 years of frustration with regulatory agency.
In the country of Mexico, and there are literally tens of millions of gnatcatcher birds there. So they're not an unusual item. There's only so much capital when you have these type of delays. Let me just, if I may, share another quick comment here with you. And that is the State of California Coastal Commission. I'm sure there's I know there's some of you out there that have had the pleasure to work with them. Yeah. Well, they liked our waterfront coastal property. We had already conveyed 3,000 acres to a coastal park, state park, but they wanted more. So they kept coming up with more and more issues. As we started our planning, which was many years ago, in fact, it took 28 years to process with the Coastal Commission the waterfront property. Lesson
number 5, he's a shrewd businessman. In 1969, he sold his company Bren to international paper for $34 million, only to buy it back 3 years later in 1972 for $22 million. Also, he cleverly bought out all the business partners of Irvine Company. In 1977, he owns 34% of Irvine. By 1996, he had bought out all the partners and owned 100%. Lesson number 6, land unbuilt is as important as land built.
Both lands that are built and lands that are unbuilt. In the lands that are unbuilt, the open space, I hope will provide freedom to all forever.
That's number 7, single state, single focus. Donald Bren spent more than 50 years building communities based on master plan in Orange County, California. He does not dabble in any other kind of real estate. That's number 8, let time be your best friend.
There was no mortgage financing on the land. The land was free. It was clear. And time was our friend. It was not our enemy. With the time, we had the ability to understand, to research, and to create the plan, to move the plan along.
Lesson number 9, what is leadership?
I learned this early on in the Marine Corps. Spent 3 years there, and their motto, which I never forgot, was mission first, then the team, then the self. It was about discipline and organization. That individually you have to have curiosity, you have to be energetic, you have to be willing to focus for long periods of time, and you have to be forward thinking and have the ability to think outside of the ordinary box. We cannot predict, you and I can't predict the future, but we can plan for it.
Lesson number 10, Irvine Ranch is special. Irvine Company is the steward of the Irvine land.
Real estate in California is special. And the Irvine Ranch is special. I would like the Irvine Company to be remembered as a steward of the Irvine lands. As I said earlier, both lands that are built and lands that are unbuilt.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.